All right, so this Knife Thoughts video is going to be an EDC video. And this is a type of video that I haven't done in a while, but basically we're just going to take a look at the knives that I'm carrying today. And it's just the knives. I do, carry a flashlight on my keychain, as well as actually a little Spyderco ladybug. And then sometimes I carry a flashlight in my pocket, I have my wallet and other stuff like that, but just the knives. And you'll notice here, these are all Rough Ryder knives. And I also carried these two yesterday. I'm just adding the fixed blade today, but let's take a look here. So this is my slip joint for the day. This is a Rough Ryder in blue jigged aluminum and VG10 steel. So it's a Lanny's clip type pattern and a really nice pattern shape to it. I also really like the look of the jigging on this aluminum, and I like the very light blue color that they got it anodized. And then it's also just super cool that you can get a modern traditional slip joint like this. Kind of an oxymoron, but it is, screw construction, but it's a slip joint, but it has the traditional pattern shape. But you can get it in VG10 for really, pretty inexpensive, $15 or $20, I think, maybe 25. But the only downside to this knife, unfortunately, is this black paint that they put on the bolster to give the bolster a different color. And you can see it has really nice action. It's pinchable. But they put this black paint on the bolster, and they did this on another knife in the VG10 series that they did. And it just doesn't hold up well. It doesn't look good. I wish that they would not do that. I've messaged Smoky Mountain Knife Works about that at least once, maybe a couple times. So really the only downside to this knife is this black paint, and I hope that they continue to do the VG10 series and stop doing the black paint. But I like that one a lot. And another Rough Ryder here, and the reason I was carrying these two is because I was going to do a post on Instagram about two of my favorite Rough Ryders and how I like the direction they're going. And this is a really great example of that. So this is a modern knife from Rough Ryder, which I've done a bunch of videos on recently. I was giving them as Christmas gifts, and I just really think that these modern Rough Ryders are undervalued, underappreciated. This is a knife that costs under $20, I think about 17 or something like that. And it's really cool. It has this cool coffin handle type shape to it, coffin shape handle. And then a really classic dagger style blade. Of course, it's only, sharpened on one side, but it has this fuller and it's very easy to flip. It has ball bearings. It's a liner lock. I've even found you can actually, kind of wave open it with that front guard. But just really good looking, very classic, like a modern take on the folding dagger. And the liner lock works well. It's there's no liner on this side, which I actually like. I mean, you don't need it. It's, G10 is strong enough, but there is a liner over here on the other side for the lock. Like I said, ball bearing, so it's super smooth, drop closed, as you can see. Came centered, very well. It also came with no blade play, still has no blade play even when unlocked, which is really, really impressive in my opinion. The G10 seems nice. It seems like real, fine quality G10, and just really like this knife. It has a tip up pocket clip. It is not reversible, but I don't care about that. And then one other really cool thing about this knife is that it's actually carbon steel. So in the model on this is RR2084, but it's actually carbon steel. I believe it's T10 carbon steel. I found that it doesn't patina quite as quickly as 1095. I haven't really looked into the composition of it, but definitely patinas. You can see that there from use. Yeah, so just pretty cool to have a carbon steel on a modern knife at under $20. And then last here is a fixed blade from Rough Ryder. I think that this is my only fixed blade from Rough Ryder except for a literal pen knife. And the reason I got this is because it comes with this Kydex sheath, which with an actual attachment system. You don't really see budget knives like this, and I think this was about $18 with, like a real Kydex sheath, not, injection molded, but an actual Kydex sheath and an actual clip so that you can actually connect it to your belt or whatever. It also has a pretty cool design to it. It's like a Kwaiken type shape, and it's very, very thick. This is definitely not a knife that you have to worry about breaking. That's the only downside to this knife, is that it actually came with such a thick edge that it was, not what I wanted to have. The edge was like very, very thick. And I'll say it again, very, very thick. So I had to thin the edge out a lot to get it to where I wanted to be. But if this was something you were carrying for, self-defense, or as a heavy duty, overbuilt type knife, hard use type deal, then maybe the thick edge wouldn't matter as much to you. But I wasn't a big fan of the super thick edge. So that was the only downside to this. But again, it has nice handles, the same black with red liners that Rough Ryder has been doing a lot of lately. Very heavy because it is such a thick blade, and it's very much full tang. But still, I think pretty good for $18. So yeah, 3 pretty cool Rough Ryders. I do really like the way that Rough Ryder is going, kind of keeping it very budget friendly, but with a little bit more quality, and trying different things, trying different patterns and stuff like that. Not to even mention the Rough Ryder Reserve series, which I'm going to do an article on because they have some really cool knives coming, I think, in the next batch. So yeah, this is the knives I'm carrying today, a few Rough Ryders, and I hope you've enjoyed. If you have, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I've got lots of other knife videos, lots more coming all the time. And hit the bell so you know when I post new videos. Also check out my social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Knife Thoughts, and my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife-related topics. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.